Alright, we are back. I have to actually enable the sim sound. There it is. Hey guys, what is going on? I am that guy Dan96.
Alright.
And I am back here. I gotta try and figure out why I can hear myself. Hey guys, what is going on? That would fix it. Anyways, we're here in the 737-800 for Delta, getting ready to head on over to Sacramento from Salt Lake City. We are going to be flying on VATSIM. Hopefully nobody from VATSIM actually comes online to control, because I really don't want to deal with that. I'm going to be flying with my friend Nate. He's going to be over. I actually have to start vPilot, so we're going to do that real quick. Get vPilot all nice and warmed up. Flight Sim Parodies, yes, I am back. I did disappear for quite a while. Internet sucked. I really didn't feel like making videos. We all know how that stuff kind of goes. So I just was away for a while, but I am back with fantastic, much better internet than I used to have before. And I'm looking forward to this. I can actually stream this in 1080p. I could not do that before. So I'm extremely happy to actually have that. And thanks for coming along here. All right. So we've got vPilot all loaded up here. It looks like we are good. You can track me, Delta 2742. LA Center's on. We're not going to be talking to him, thank God. And yeah, I think we should be good here. So, back onto the flight deck here. We just have to program this stuff. I've got the weights and everything loaded in, so we're going to load that up right now. We are at Salt Lake City. We're going to Sacramento, Delta 2742. Off runway, actually, I don't know what the winds are in Salt Lake City. I had my thing open here. I'm expecting, I think it's 3-4 right? Is that what we're going to be doing? Winds is 010, so we're going to be off runway 34 right. And departing 34 right on the, I gotta find it here, 34 right on the Desert 1 to Bravo Alpha Mike. From there it's going to be Juliet 32 to Lima Lima Charlie. And it's going to be to Anaheim. And we're going to be on the ILS runway 16 left approach. I'll pull the weather here in just a second. Yes, sorry that it is super late. I wanted to do this a little bit earlier, but, you know, setting up new internet and all that stuff. But I do appreciate you dropping by, Flights and Parodies. I really appreciate that. It's nice to see you, man. And there will be more streams coming, don't worry. And this will go up on YouTube once it's over, so you'll be able to watch it there if you so please. 3-4 left, Slammer 3 off of Anaheim. And transition, I don't know, that's fine. We can activate and execute. Perfect, we got 16.3 on the gas. Zero fuel weight is 129.3. We're going to do 4.9 in the reserves. Cost index of 36. I don't know what Delta uses. SimBrief told me 36. Cruising at flight level 360. Cruise wind is going to be... I did not take that down. I should have. Oh, no, I got it. 265, 295 at 6.5. We have got that, and the ISO deviation is +7. And execute that. We're going to do a takeoff 2, climb 2. That works for me. No assumed temperature. I'm just going to run that. We got flaps 5 and a CG of 23.8. Gives me a trim of 5.3. And 41, 42, 46. That's going to give me 46 up here. Let's also start the APU while we're here. We can go up here. Kick on the APU. I don't know. I have to do some stuff up here too. Oops. No. There we go. That's set. That's good. Cruising flight level 360. And landing altitude in Sacramento, I actually don't know what that is off the top of my head. I will check that here in just a second. Everything else, though, is looking good. Landing elevation Sacramento is 27, so we'll do 50. We got 50. All that stuff is looking good there. I'm happy with this. The APU started. All that stuff is set up. We'll squawk 2000 on VATSIM. Again, I don't see anybody on quite yet. Since there's nobody on, I'm just going to ignore altitude constraints. We'll go all the way up to flight level 360. Want to get this plane started up and on its way very soon. That way you guys aren't sitting here watching me program a plane for 20 minutes, because that is not fun at all. We'll arm that. Runway heading off runway 34 right is going to be 344. APU should be good. Take the buses, that's good, and take the APU bleed area. Now you should wait 3 minutes, but it's a flight sim, so YOLO. Let's also get them to disconnect all our ground power stuff. That can all go away. Alright. And we're flying a Sky Team livery today, actually. I figured I'd fly something a little bit different than just the standard... Oh, get out of here. The standard, you know, Delta 737. That's not fun at all. Well, it is fun, but, you know. Coming back, special livery. Anyways. So, yes, we were in Sky Team livery. We're pretty much ready to go. I'm not going to use GSX or anything. Why wait? I got 16.3. Happy with all of that. Let me check to make sure. V-Pilot is still good, which it is. And, yeah, I think I'm ready to get out of here. No reason to wait around. We're going to pop in the anti-collision light. Shut the door. All that's looking good. We're going to start number 2 first. Operate the jetways. Prepare for pushback and departure. We're going to do tail left. Hopefully, if GSX decides to work. While we're waiting for GSX, we'll pop on the transponder. It's about time to go. There we go. No de-icing. Tail left.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
And unfortunately, my GSX guys are through my actual speakers. I forgot to move them over to the mic here, but I'm assuming you should be able to hear them, and it shouldn't be too much of an issue. And we're not going to wait to start the engines. The only reason they would do that in de-icing, it has nothing to do with de-icing itself. When I used to work the ramp for American...
We're ready for pushback.
Yes, thank you. Lock the gear, let's go. When I used to work for American, we sometimes didn't have planes start both engines. Usually we could start one engine with the push-out tugs that we had. The ramp gets icy, and sometimes when you have both engines running, the force of both engines overpower the pushback tug because it's icy and it can't push the plane back, and it would be a mess. So usually we'll let them either start one or none of them, depending on what kind of plane it is and what push-out we have available for that aircraft. That's the only reason. Here in GSX, it's not going to make a difference because there's no ice on the ground, so...
Release parking brakes.
Parking brakes are released. You're clear to push.
Due to icing conditions, please stand by for engine start until push completed and brakes set.
That's just negative. Packs off. And let's go ahead and spin 2. I do have a key command bound to the start lever, so I'm going to just use that to start the engine. There goes number 2. Yes, I really fly the 737 a lot, so I'm slightly familiar with this airplane, just a touch. I'm actually starting a trip with Southwest tomorrow in the 7.3, so looking forward to flying that. We're going down to, it's a nice trip. It starts in the morning. I'm doing Chicago to Baltimore, Baltimore to Nassau, Nassau to Fort Lauderdale, and Fort Lauderdale over to Tampa. Who knows, maybe you'll see a stream for one of those. Jamesy1324, welcome to the stream, sir. I'm glad you can make it. Brakes are set, and this is PacSim, Salt Lake City. I can see Nate here. He's pushing back in his 7.3. That's good. Let's go ahead and spin 1. Number 1 is coming up nicely. I'm actually going to turn my display's brightness up a tad.
Unlocking gear.
25, there goes the fuel.
Tow truck disconnected. Bypass has been removed.
Alright. Thanks, Nate. Appreciate it. Nothing like a little PTA and TomatoShade. I forget what presets I use. I think it's R&D. They have, I forget the name of the website. I'll have to go check it. But that's a preset I do use for all my stuff, and it's pretty awesome. Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. Flaps 5. Flaps going 5. That's good. Good. All right. APU can come off. Everything's looking good. Waiting for flaps to go 5. We'll go ahead and test the flight controls. Of course, I gotta go outside and do a wind view for the ailerons and the spoilerons. Left, right. All right, and then I can just check. The elevators are good. We are good there. Flaps are 5. APU is off. Taxi light on. Brakes released. Let's head on over to 3-4 right. I usually have AI traffic that I just use, where did I get the traffic files? My one buddy got them off a website, and we just paired up some AI planes to them, and they work really, really, really well. I did use Flight 1's Ultimate Traffic 2 for a long time, but they weren't updating their schedules and stuff like that, so I decided to just kind of do it my own way. And that's what I've been using, and I'm fairly happy with that. I'm going to start the FO's clock. I should have started that when we pushed out. But it is no worry. Going down 3-4 right. It's going to be a right here. We're going to make a right onto Taxiway Hotel. And that's going to be a straight shot all the way down to 3-4 right. I'm going to run my before takeoff checklist here in just a second. There is somebody else on VATSIM. Who dat? What are they? I'm assuming that's FedEx 858. Is there somebody on final? Oh, there is. Look at that. We actually have traffic here. So departure plan not required, attendant notification, we'll just say it's complete. They called us and told us the cabin is secure. Electrical generators on, anti-ice is off. Packs are auto, leads engine on, APU off, start switch is left continuous. APU is off, flaps MCDU 5, indicates 5 green light. The start levers are idle, and the recall is checked. Before takeoff checklist is complete. FedEx is on their way out. I don't know where they're going, but we can always check that later. I think it's FedEx 858. Yep. Alright. I gotta do that whole taxiing the airplane thing. Jamesy, no, this is Turbine. I actually have to add that to my description. Thank you for reminding me. This is Turbine Sound Studios 737, and there's also a... what was it? It was a like cockpit enhancer, sound enhancer thing. I forget what it's called. I have to add those two to my description. So you actually reminded me for that. Thank you. I will do that at the end of the video. Yeah, I know the exterior sounds are Turbine Sound Studios, and again the engine sounds are Immersive Audio, I think is the name of the company. They're both on SimMarket. I pretty much buy all my stuff on SimMarket. We've got landing traffic on 3-4 left. And once he lands, I'm going to line up and wait. Reminds me, let me pull... Oh, why is Photoshop open? That's just eating frames. And eating computer resources, that can also go away. Alright. Is it a Delta? I think so. Delta 739. Alright. We're going to do SLC traffic. I'll just line up and wait, and then as soon as he's off, I'll say I'm departing. Runway, turn off lights, taxi lights, strobes, wing lights, and we're going to wait on the landing lights until we are actually ready to depart. We're going to line up here. Jamesy, I would do that. I also don't have a ton of money just laying around, so maybe one day if I actually get enough people, I may do that. But no giveaways here, simply because I don't have that many people, so really wouldn't be, I guess, a game of luck, if you call it that. But maybe if I get more people in my streams one day, definitely with my new internet here, it's going to be much easier to do, so that could be coming if we can get more subscribers. I would definitely be into doing that. Anyways, off runway 34, it's going to be radar vectors direct to Dirch. That's all good. I'm going to call on vPilot, tell him Salt Lake traffic, departing 3-4 right. Oh, it'd also help if I was on 22.8. I knew I was forgetting something. There we go. 22.8. SLC traffic departing 3-4 right. That should be good to go. Alright. Let's go flying. Select 40% N1. Oh, there you go. 40% N1. That's good. Start the clock. And toga. Thrust is set. $80 knots.
V1. V1. Rotate. V2.
There's a positive rate of climb. Gear up. Feet. We've got LNAV. Maintaining approximately V2 plus 15. That was VNAV. We can start the left turn now. We'll do a heading of 280 will work. There's climb 2. N1, we're going to start accelerating to 230 knots. Setting select. That would help. Flex 1. Can actually start that turn a little more. I can see the first waypoint. We'll do 260. Flaps up. Start accelerating now to 250 knots. There's 250 rolling out at a heading at 260. We're going to go direct to Dirch. execute, I'll nav. Got that trim coming in there. Accelerating at 250 knots nicely. We're now direct dirt. That's at or above 12,000, so we'll be good there. The only altitude constraint I have would be desert at 1.5, but I'm just going to altitude intervene through that. Flaps are up, auto brakes off, landing gear off. Turn the retractable landing lights off. And it's actually a really nice day, so we're just going to do some hand flying while we're here. So I just used altitude intervene. I cleared out all the altitude constraints because there's no other planes flying around, and I don't feel like hanging around at 15,000 too long. So we're just climbing out now, almost to 10,000 feet. We're going to accelerate roughly 290 knots. Changes on the weight, but it should be about 290. Oh, 301, that works too. We're going to start pitching down. Airspeed's bugging out. Not sure. It doesn't know what it wants to do. 301 or 302. Let's see. Yeah, that's fine. Got those winds kicking in there. Gonna bank a touch to the right. It is such a nice day. I'm pretty sure I'm gonna hand fly this probably up to 20,000 feet-ish. It just depends on when I feel like I don't want to fly anymore. That is the one thing I love about the PMDG 737, more so than any other plane they have. The 747 is kind of the same. But just the feel of this plane flying it is fantastic. I have a Go Flight Pro flight yoke, and it's absolutely awesome. It's expensive, but it's worth it. If you have the money and you want to actually invest in a really good yoke, it's all metal, real nice and sturdy. It's shaped exactly like a 737 yoke. So if you definitely have the money and you fly, you know, the 737 or this any Boeing aircraft, anything with a yoke, it's definitely worth your time. What is? Oh, okay. Thought those were blacked out squares for a second. Almost a dirt. We'll start that left turn now. Plane's doing a nice job of holding about approximately 300 knots. And there's the rollout. Alright. Rolling out direct to Bonnie. Had I been just following altitude constraints, we would have leveled off by now. Would have been at 15,000 a while ago. Now flying direct to Tippin, or sorry, Desert, then Tippin. 18,000 feet, 2992 is set. Off come the rest of the lights. This is not Delta's procedure, this is Southwest's procedure. That's how they run their lights. That's just how I know my 7.3, and that's how I run with it, so. Southwest, they do not take the lights out until 18,000, both ascending and descending. I'll say we're good here. We can go ahead and enable Command A. Just waiting for, there it is. Want everything to be nice and centered. That way when the autopilot takes over, it's not whipping the airplane down to try and grab the flight director. So that's definitely one of the things. If you fly on planes, you can never tell when they actually put on the autopilot. One of the requirements that Southwest has is that you actually have your attitude indicator centered in with the flight director, so when you turn on the autopilot, the plane's not jerking down or jerking up left or right. Toss on some weather radar. Surprised at how nice it is, actually. I don't... Oh, there's some clouds. I was getting worried for a second. We'll do some nice cinematic shots. Well, we can do them now, why not? I'm just going to turn the sim down a tad because it'll blow your ears out. Go outside. Flight Sim Parodies, I know, man. I was there for a very long time. I know. I go back inside here. I actually had SATEC equipment for a long time, but just recently I saw the deal they had on Go Flight stuff, and I had to do it. I really didn't have. I had to. It was too good. I wanted one for way too long. My SATEC yoke was going. I had my SATEC yoke for over 10 years. Or, I'm sorry, I had it 10 years. It was going on over 10 years. And, because I got it at the beginning of 08. And, yeah. So it had been around a long time. And, yeah, it was quite the upgrade. I'll tell you that. The rest of my SATEC stuff, though, I still have my throttle quadrant and radio I've had for a little while. Joel, thank you for watching the stream, man, and thanks for checking out some of those videos. I appreciate it, and welcome. Glad you're here. We'll find something to do here at Cruise. Usually I'll just go through and talk about flight sim stuff with you guys. I'll try to look online and see what kind of flight sim news is going around and just talk about general flight sim stuff and what I want to do with my channel, considering I'm somewhat coming back, I guess you could say. Yeah, not sure what I want to do in terms of creating a schedule. I haven't gotten that far yet. First, I need to make sure streams actually have to work here. First, I have to make sure they're all nice and good and trying out different planes and stuff like that. So, anywho, James E 1324. I've been to Bradley in the sim. I've been a lot of places with Southwest Virtual. I think I'll pull up my account. I have over, I think, 5,000 hours, or maybe it's 4,000. I think it's over 4,000 hours with Southwest Virtual, or something like that. Flying these 737. So I've been pretty much to almost every one of their destinations. And Joel, yes, I was a ramp agent for over a year. I recently just left. I'm getting my private pilot's license now, and then I'm going to be heading to ATP hopefully next year. When that happens, the videos might go away for a little bit just because I'll be 8 months of ETP, and that's a lot. But I'll be doing all that kind of stuff. And but yes, I was a ramp agent for American, technically Envoy, but you know, we worked American planes. And yeah, I was at Cleveland for over a year, just over like a year. I want to say short of a year and a half. And unfortunately, the job just became just way too much for me trying to actually get my private's license and do this. They had me working almost over 50 hours a week, which I know to most people, they just look at that and laugh, but yeah, 50 hours a week working the ramp, throwing bags and doing that kind of stuff. It was really, it was grueling. It was not easy. So, appreciate that. Thank you for the kind wishes there. But yeah, I loved it. I didn't want to leave, but I had to just focus on my flying, focus on some of the schooling I'm doing right now, and just focus on that. So, yeah, I miss it. I wish I could still stack bags. My last stack was a, I remember my last stack. I had to remember it. It was a E-145 working for Trans-States from Cleveland to Washington, D.C.A. I think I had a total of like 8 bags total. It was with, I think I had like 4 checked and like 4 valets, or maybe 5 valets. It was like 9 bags total. So. Oh, Jamesy, that's great, man. I want to fly for, initially, I want to retire and fly for Southwest, you know, once I'm actually an established pilot. But for right now, the beginning, I want to fly for PSA. I love PSA. I fly on PSA and VATSIM all the time. Pretty much during the day / evening. If you look over at Charlotte, you'll probably see a JIA plane, and that's me flying the CRJ. I'm definitely going to be doing some streams with that. You'll see lots of PSA streams. Hopefully maybe some Southwest streams during the day. I may stream one of my flights tomorrow. We'll see. I'll just see how that ends up working out. And if I even want to, because I have to change the audio around on my computer and stuff. But anyways. So I want to fly for Blue Streak. That's their call sign for PSA. And if I can get on with PSA, that would be really great. So hopefully, we'll see. Maybe one day. Alright. But again, I appreciate everyone stopping out, enjoying the stream. I really appreciate that. Glad to see I got some people here. And Jamesy, yes, I really love the Aerosoft CRJ. It's really great for, I guess, normal ops is the best way to call it. It doesn't do failure. Well, I haven't tried to sim any failures, but I just know Aerosoft. They don't simulate failures. They don't simulate like adverse, I guess, conditions where you have to use different systems. Or if you, like, let's say in the MGX lose a hydraulic system, you can go on and actually take that system out and use different systems. You could use the alternate flaps. You could actually go to standby rudder on the flight controls if you lost hydraulics and stuff like that. They don't simulate that in the Aerosoft CRJ. So unfortunately, why does it keep telling me that? I don't care. It's fine. So the Aerosoft CRJ, like I said, is very good for normal operations. Outside of that, it's not modeled for it, but I don't do adverse operations, so, you know. Joel, thank you for the sub. I really appreciate it, man, and you have a good night, too. Hopefully I'll see you back on another stream. Yes, the Aerosoft CRJ is pretty good. I love it. I don't know how many hours I have for American Virtual. I think about 150, and that's all in the CRJ, flying little short hops between Charlotte. The shortest flight, I really do love flying the CRJ from Charlotte to Greenville, South Carolina. It's a 17-minute flight. Wheels up, wheels down, 17 minutes. Hey, Flights and Parodies, thank you so much for stopping out and staying up until like 4-something to watch the beginning of this video. I think that's really awesome, man. And I definitely checked Patreon. I did send you a message in there. I don't know if you've seen it yet. I have to check it myself. But I did send you one, so let me know. Yes, I'll definitely look forward to talking to you, man. Have a good night. Thanks for stopping out. Coming up to level 360 here. Let's see, I have to check the arrival into Sacramento. I can kind of do that, actually, if I boot up my Navigraph charts. I can just pull them over and show them to you. That's probably what I'm going to end up doing here. What do we got? The Slammer 3. We're going to have arrival into Sacramento. I don't even know where I'm going. Winds are calm. I'm expecting 1-6 left. Assuming the RNP. See you, man. Have a good night. And I have no idea what gate we're going to. I actually have to check that myself here on my phone. Check to see what gate we're going to. Delta 27... 2742. And as we get a little bit closer here, once we get closer to the top of the descent, I'll go ahead and actually pull this open. Navigraph sim charts so you can see them. Right now I'm using my iPad for all this stuff. We are going to Delta 11. Oh, no, Alpha 3. Alpha 3, that sounds better. And we're level off now, level 360. Seatbelt signs coming off. Yes, that's fine. Let me check the, first of all, I want this to be 250 at 10,000. Let's keep that. Okay. I turned off Navigraph Simlink, so you're not going to see my plane on the Navigraph charts, but I'll load those up really quick. Get the thing to work. There we go. Navigraph charts desktop. Bring that over to give you guys a little bit of an idea of the arrival into Sacramento. Alright, pull that over here. I'm going to switch it over to night. It's just easier to look at on the eyes for you guys. Smuff. It's currently downloading the charts for Sacramento. Wait for them to load. I'll also go ahead and we'll go through some of the flight sim news, I guess you could say, that's been happening recently. 6 left. Do the ILS. Port info, parking spots. Okay. We're going to be coming in on the Slammer 3 off of Anaho to WebGo, Slammer, Poser, Tenko, and over to Z-Man. From there, we'll be transitioning over to the ILS runway 16 left approach. We can actually go off at Tenko. I can switch it over in my FMS. We can go from Tenko direct to Derby, to Levy, onto 16 left. Landing runway 16 left, we're going to do... I'll set this up closer. We'll do an auto brake. We'll do auto brake 2. I should be able to make it off by Delta 9. So we'll get off Delta 9, Charlie 3, and actually we're going to gate Alpha 3, which is right there. We'll come off runway 16 left. Again with auto brakes 2, we'll shoot for Delta 9, North Delta, left Charlie 3. Indicate Alpha 3. So that's going to be the plan for the arrival into Sacramento this evening. I'll put that away for now. We'll check it out once we get closer again, and for anybody that actually does make their way into the stream. We'll see our top of descent here is 1908, 30 minutes. We'll go ahead and check out some flight sim news here. Let's see, what do we got here? There is a very big possibility here. I gotta see where the max is in terms of development for X-Plane. As I'm actually looking at going over to get some X-Plane stuff. We'll see how that goes. I'm very much a what would you call that? Yes, Dylan, thank you, sir. Thank you for being here. I am looking over, switching over to do X-Plane just for maybe some general aviation flying. Obviously, that's the best that's what X-Plane is best for, in my opinion. For me, commercial flying is best on Prepared. and GA flying is good in X-Plane, so I'm going to look at doing some of that stuff. We'll look at it. Again, that's just me thinking. I can't promise anything there, because usually I try to use X-Plane, and then I start using it, and I go, oh god, I hate it. But anyways, yes, FX Packages has been doing a lot of different immersion packages. I saw one for the 717, 747, they have one for, obviously the 73, the Dash 8, I know they have. They've got a bunch of them now. So it's nice to see them rolling out some stuff. I have one for the 737. I don't really use it. I have it off right now just because I really don't see it. But if you do want to take some awesome pictures, it's really a great program, actually. Coronado is going to do the Embraer 120 Brasilia. That's going to be a fun plane to fly. That plane's gonna, I know it's going to be a bitch to learn, but that might be kind of cool. I might pick that up when that comes out. SXAD, Houston Hobby. God, I cannot wait for that to come out. Be able to do some Southwest flying into Houston Hobby. If you're unfamiliar with SXAD, he does stuff. He does a lot of U.S. airports. He's at a few airports on maybe one or two in just the different parts of the world. But he mainly does airports like Amarillo, Texas, Nashville, Tennessee, Norfolk, Virginia. I know he did Block Island, Rhode Island. Maybe that's Vermont or something. I don't know. I think it's Rhode Island. What else has he done? Birmingham, Alabama. So he does lots of small, I guess, mid to small-sized U.S. airports. And Houston Hobby is a big hub for Southwest Airlines. And it'll be really great to fly there. I'm looking forward to it. It previously did not have a scenery at all, so definitely looking forward to this. You can see there's a terminal here. And it's looking really good. I'm excited for that. It'll be great to be able to fly to Houston in Southwest and not have to use some, crappy old AFCAD file, which is going to be very nice. Fly the Mad Dog. I'm learning that plane right now. I'm doing pretty decent with it. I'm not struggling with it per se. Just need to, finalize some system stuff, and that will be good to go pretty much. Let's see. Flight Beam is going to be doing Portland. God, that's a scenery we need badly. I do have the Dash 8. I'd like to fly that. I do not know how to fly that plane at all. So, I definitely need to learn that plane before I start using it on streams, but we can use it flying some Horizon /Alaska /SkyWest. Although I think it's just Horizon for the Dash 8s, but whatever, flying it out of Portland there. That'll be a lot of fun. And this is one of the reasons why I'm even looking at X-Plane 11. God, I hope this thing actually happens. To me, this is just absolutely beautiful. I love it. I think TomatoShade does a great job of Prepared, making Prepared look X-Plane-ish in terms of graphics. And, because that is the one thing I have to give X-Plane. Like, graphics like this, that's really good. That is really good. So, give them that, definitely. So I'm looking at, once this comes out, maybe going over to X-Plane, especially with split scimitars. I'd like to actually have those. Since, PMDG just refuses to do any sort of updates to that. Quality Wings in their 787, another fantastic airplane. I love flying that. I did a really cool route with the 787. I flew for TUI, out of Amsterdam. So that's like TUI Netherlands is the company. And their call sign's orange. And I flew Amsterdam to Punta Cana. From Punta Cana to, I think it's Caraco is how you say it. Caraco, and then Caraco up to Amsterdam. Back to Amsterdam. And it was a lot of fun. I really had a lot of fun flying that with one of my friends, Connor. He came over. He's from Nashville. He came over and we flew the 787. It was a lot of fun. That's awesome, Jamesy. I hope they actually do end up doing Bradley. That would be a lot of fun. I'd really like that airport. Especially flying up in the Northeast there. There's a lot of trips out of Chicago that not only go up to the Northeast, but go through Baltimore and then do some Northeast flying out of Baltimore. So I'm looking forward to, hopefully if he does end up doing BDL, that'd be a great scenery to have. I'm hoping somebody does, for the love of God, I'm hoping somebody does Dallas Love Field. That's a scenery we need badly. Any sort of, there's only like, I think one really good AFCAD for Love Field that depicts a new terminal, and it is borderline atrocious, in terms of frames, it's not a bad, like, the terminal is good, it just, the frames are just so terrible. It's borderline, just borderline terrible. I have to try and fly there. It makes me want to hurt myself when I go there. I'll be coming in and just get like 10 frames, and it's just absolutely atrocious. And I know it's not AI traffic, because I'll turn off AI traffic and it's still horrid. Because like I said, usually I do fly with AI traffic, but for stream's sake and for my sake, I'm just leaving AI traffic off. For now, until I get used to streaming and see how the, you know, how the computer reacts and stuff, because I really wasn't sure how my computer was going to handle this. I'm going to kill the audio a little bit. Do some looking on the outside. We'll go back to here. The PMDG 747-8, yeah, I'm not buying that. No, thank you. Not for $70. I don't think so. Turn that sim down just a little bit more for you. Let's see, what else do we have? Aerosoft Airbus, I'd like to try and fly that plane. Me and Airbus don't do well together. I do not like Airbus. I've tried flying it, and I just cannot stand it. Just do not like it at all. I go through like weird phases, like I'll be sitting there and I'll go, you know what, I really want to fly the Airbus right now, and I'll get in the Airbus, and then by the time I land, I don't want to touch that plane for a while. And then I don't touch it for a while, and a few months later I go, oh, I'd like to try the Airbus, and yeah, that's about it. Drzicki Designs, Seattle. I actually flew into there. That's a really great scenery. They do the entire Seattle like airports, and they do Seattle Tacoma, they do Boeing Field, Renton, and like a few other small fields. Payne Field I know is in there. And yeah, I have Orbx San Diego. I'm just gonna let you guys sit out here and watch the plane while we kind of cruise around here. I realized I was just covering that up hardcore for you guys. You weren't able to enjoy the flight sim. Just putting along at flight level 360. We should be on our way to Sacramento. We should be on the ground in about 40 minutes. If any of you are wondering, this is old prop ChasePlane is the name of the camera software I have that does these kind of outside cinematic flying around views. And also, if you have any flight ideas, please go ahead and let me know what kind of ideas you have, what kind of flights you want me to see, what kind of airline planes. Definitely go ahead and let me know. I take every suggestion that I would get seriously. I want to do it for you guys. I want you guys to be able to watch videos and say, hey, I requested that flight. So if you do have any ideas for good flights, stream flights, I want to keep probably no more than 2 hours flying time, maybe 2.5. It's just very difficult to make the stream interesting while I'm cruising for 2 hours and have pretty much nothing to do other than just show you guys airplane views like this. So definitely go ahead and give me ideas. I just don't want long hauls. If you give me long hauls, I might be able to do them in a video, but for streams, that's just not going to work for streams, unfortunately. I am looking at doing videos again. I just have to get myself motivated to actually edit the things. I can record them, all that kind of stuff. Just editing them is always tough for me. Alright, we're good. Enough of the outside views. Let me turn my sim back up to its regular cockpit levels. That should be good. Also, please feel free, if my sim sounds like ass, if something sounds like ass, please tell me so I can actually fix it. So if you hear something that sounds either way too loud, way too soft, if you need something up, down, volume-wise, please do let me know, and I'll do my best to make that happen for you. Going over Bravo Alpha Mike. I'm actually quite curious to see what waypoint that is. Oh, I don't even have that loaded up. Let me just pop my route here into the iPad so I can actually see what waypoint this is. I don't even know where we are. I know we're approximately 20 miles east of BAM. Okay. The high IFR chart. BAM is Battle Mountain VOR, and they are in Nevada. So we're in the northern, we're pretty much dead smack center, the northern part of Nevada. Right in the middle of the state, and probably the top quarter. This is Bravo Alpha Mike, and then we will we'll be beginning the descent pretty soon here. If I go look at the star again. The waypoint is, I think Anaho is the beginning waypoint, and that waypoint, I think it has a crossing restriction. iPad's frozen, we'll do it this way. No, but WebGo is only 52 miles after that, and that's between flight level 220 and flight level 200. So we're probably going to be descending either before Anaho or pretty much right on it. Check and see where that is, actually. Yep. Top of descent is pretty much right on top of Anaho, just a tad behind it. So planes that I'm hoping to actually bring to the channel, I'd like to use the 717. I got to get that plane figured out. Not in terms of flying the plane, but in terms of performance. I'm really struggling with that plane, and I don't know why. So I have to check that out as to why my 717 is acting weird when I try to record it. The MD-80, pretty decent with that plane. I can fly it, start it, all that kind of stuff, although I know my procedures are going to be dead wrong. So I know if I try to fly it and start it, I will get yelled at mercilessly. 787, if I can find short flights with it, hopefully, maybe. I'd like to do the 777 too. Again, if I can only if I can find short flights with it. I think they do. Delta used to do like LA to JFK, Atlanta to JFK on the 777. So if they still do that, I don't know if they do, but if they still do, that could definitely be a possibility. Possibly Los Angeles to Dallas on the American 777. That is a little bit of a longer flight, but hopefully, you know, I can get more people into my streams, and we can have a nice conversation while we cruise. If I had a ton of people here, I'd fly 5-hour flights on stream and talk with you guys, chat with you guys, talk about flight sim stuff, or whatever you want to talk about, really, while we're at cruise. So that's the only thing I gotta hope for, is hopefully to get more people and build up a little bit more of a community, and get some people in here that we can chat with, talk with, be friends with, and enjoy while we cruise around. There's going to be the CRJ, a PSA flying on the CRJ out of Charlotte. You're going to see that. It's definitely going to be in the video. Southwest, 737 stuff. I could do, God, tons and tons and tons of live streams of that. But I don't want to bog you down with one plane. I don't want to have every live stream be a 737. Because I know that could become extremely repetitive eventually. What else? There's a 757. I have to learn that plane. I've flown it maybe like 2 times. So I have to fly the 7.5. I mean, I would fly any plane, realistically. 7.5, 7.4. If I can find a short 747 flight. I know a couple cargo airlines do, like, Dallas to Atlanta. So I might be able to do that. I know Cathay Pacific. I have Hong Kong scenery. That was one of the longest. I did the longest flight ever, for me at least. 15 hours. I think it was a little over 15 hours. It was Hong Kong to Toronto, which that flight again I think comes in just a little bit over 15 hours. Hong Kong to Toronto, and then the next day I flew Toronto back to Hong Kong. I know Toronto to Hong Kong was 15 hours on the dot. I flew for exactly 15 hours. But over to Toronto, I forget exactly what the flight time was there, and I threw away the dispatches I printed out for that. So don't remember exactly, but those were my 2 longest flights I've ever flown. Cathay 828 and Cathay 829 Heavy. So I know Cathay does some stuff out of Hong Kong into, I think they do Manila. So I'm pretty sure I can fly Hong Kong, Manila, and that's an hour and something flight. Hopefully, too. I was really hoping I can get one of my friends, hopefully, mic'd up one time, and I could actually have another person be talking with, and we could be not only flying, we could fly together like my buddy Nate is, and he's behind me here. You can actually see him on the... Oops. That scared me. You can actually see him right there. There's his plane. Not only to fly with and talk with, but while we're at cruise, actually have discussions with. I'm really interested in just flight sim stuff and talking about flight sim and you know, where I think the community is going. Not so much a community, but I guess just a platform in general. Not only, you know, prepare to next plane and that kind of stuff. But I love talking about that, and I'd love to have somebody on. You could just hear me rant about PMDG, about why I actually strongly dislike them as a company. Their product is great, but just my sheer, just absolute, I guess you call it, I don't want to say hatred, because that's a very strong word, but my just strong dislike for PMDG. I love their products, but them as a company and what they say and do, I strongly disagree with a lot of this stuff. Which is I refuse to pay $70 for a 747-8. That is essentially the 747, which is some added features. I don't care what you say. I know it's a different model. I know it's a different fuel model. To me, $70, that's ridiculous. That's the base version of the 800 and 900 of the NGX. And I know when they update the NGX, they're gonna charge us an outrageous amount of money, and it's gonna pain me so much buying that plane. I'm not gonna want to, but I'm not gonna deprive myself of fantastic airplanes. I just don't agree with them as a company. Because you know, they're going to end up charging you like $70 for this new plane that's literally going to be the NGX with scimitars and LED lights that we should have right now to begin with. There's no reason we shouldn't have. There's no reason that we don't have scimitars on our NGXs. There's absolutely no reason for that. There's absolutely no reason we don't have the new LED landing lights here. That's not that hard to implement. There's just no reason for any of that. I would love to have the new fuel control switches here and the new parking brake lever. There's just a lot of stuff like that with PMDG that they refuse to update their products. They charged you to migrate over to Prepared. You had to rebuy the products. They wouldn't give you a discount. They wouldn't give you an upgrade fee. They wouldn't give it to you for free. They wouldn't do any of that, unlike most other developers. And their reasoning was, well, they said, well, you're supporting the continued development of the 737. You're supporting service packs and that kind of thing. There's not been one legit service pack since I switched over to Prepared. Not one. There's been absolutely no implementation of any new features into the NGX at all. They're going to waste their time on this global ACARS garbage, which is just going to take a bunch of time and totally just waste time from actually developing a new 737 that's, let's face it, this plane's been out for 7 years and nothing much has changed. You got weather radar a few years ago. That's about it. I know there's been a few updates in like the operations manager, but it hasn't done anything, to me, it hasn't done anything to this airplane at all. It's the exact same airplane I've been flying for God knows how long, so you don't want to get me started on that tirade. I mean, maybe you do, I don't know. But I think it's absolutely abysmal that they've done absolutely nothing to the plane that's realistically made PMDG what they are today. When the 737 actually did come out, this became the flight sim standard of add-ons, was the NGX. I don't know what the numbers are, but I would venture to say that probably the NGX is probably one of the most, oops, forgot that flight director, was probably by far one of the most, I guess, lucrative add-ons in terms of how many planes were purchased and how many people actually bought the plane. I don't know one flight sim person that doesn't have the NGX. And I know a lot of flight sim people, I see a lot of flight sim people, I watch a lot of flight sim people, and they all have the NGX. So, you know they made a ton of money off of that. And there's been nothing to the plane. There's been absolutely nothing since it's come out, other than Weather Radar. And even that took a few years. Which, and let's be honest, the Weather Radar sucks ass. I know it's tied to Active Sky, so it's kind of Active Sky's, I guess, I don't want to say Active Sky's problem, but it kind of is. But yeah, the Weather Radar is ass. If you try to use Weather Radar, not every storm is going to be red in the middle. Not every blip of precipitation is going to be red. Some of it's just going to be light precipitation, where it should just be green. Some of it's going to be moderate precipitation, yellow. And very few should actually be red. And if you have any sort of precipitation, it always shows a big blob of red in the middle, a thin line of yellow, and a thin line of white, or a thin line of green. That's it. And that's wrong. That's just 100% incorrect. So yeah, the Weather Radar, I barely even use it, simply because of that. Just because it looks stupid. I can't use the wind shear feature, whatever it is, WX plus T. I can't use that because then it colors every storm in the middle pink. And that's incorrect. You shouldn't see pink at all. If you see pink, you definitely shouldn't be flying there. And every storm has it. So that's just horrid. It really throws me, though, that people can develop planes for X-Plane, this Zebo mod. That, granted, of course, it had a pretty good base to work off of. And I know X-Plane is obviously way different for coding than P3D. I'm not that stupid, I know that. But it really depresses me to see how quickly people can push out things for X-Plane 11 and how long it takes people to create any sort of decent add-on for Prepared. It's disappointing. And I don't know from a programming standpoint. I don't know. You know, I'm not going to say PMDG should make things faster because I don't know from a programming standpoint how all that works. But it is really disappointing that planes take as long as they do for Prepared when, and not even planes, just scimitars, please scimitars. That's all I want. See, we're getting close to our top of descent. We're approximately 60 miles out. We can tune in the ILS while we're here. Pull it up for you guys. Like I said, I've got it here on my iPad. The ILS is 111.75, and you'll see, of course, a 168. So 168. Auto brake 2. It's going to be 111.75. And we've got 111.75 set. Course of 168. Auto brakes are 2. Everything's looking good down there. So essentially what we can do is I can run through an approach briefing with you, so you can see what I'm planning on doing. Again, I showed this kind of before, but this will be the legitimate approach briefing. So this is chart 20-20 Alpha, effective the 10th of December 2015. The Slammer 3 are an arrival off Anaho. Going to go from Anaho to WebGo between flight level 220, flight level 200 to Slammer at 280 knots between 17,000 and 13,000. Direct to Poser at or above 8,000. From there, we're going to break off to the left here. We're going to go to Tenko at 210 knots at or above 4,500 to ZMAM at 210 knots at or above 3,000, and from there we'll expect the assigned instrument approach procedure. from there, we're going to transition over to chart 21-2, effective the 7th of December, 2017. I don't think anybody's on the pilot. I got Sacramento approach. Sacramento is 125.4, so I'm going to go ahead and boot that up here. Oh. Okay. You'll also have to let me know how PacSim sounds. I can hear it on my side, but I don't know what it's gonna sound like for you guys. I hope it's not too loud. So if it is too loud, just go ahead and let me know, and I'll turn it down. That's the only thing I'm worried about. We got ADIS going on now.
Load and check all pages. Advise on initial contact. You have information Victor.
It's information Victor.
Sacramento International Airport ADIS information Victor. 01530. Web Tom. Visibility 10. Sky clear below 12,000. Temperature 21. 2.10. Altimeter 29999. ILS and visual approaches in use. Landing runway 16 left and 16 right. Departure runways 16 left and 16 right. Notices to airmen. Use caution bird activity vicinity airport. Departure clearance will be a CPPLC lock on PSMF. Load and check all pages. Advise on initial contact. You have information Victor.
Okay, so we have information Victor. We'll let approach control know that we have Victor when we get closer. On our way to Anaho now. And if we go back down here, we'll open the charts for you. So ADIS is 2675. We got that set. Localized is India Mike Delta Kilo and 111.75. Final approach course is 168. Glide slope intercept levy 1,900 feet. ILS decision height. I don't use decision altitude for just in flight sim because we don't have sloped runways. I use decision height. That uses the radio altimeter, which is 200 feet. Let's go ahead and plug that in here. And we have 200 feet on the radio altimeter, which is perfect. Airport elevation 27, touchdown zone elevation is 27. If we go on a missed approach here, we'll climb to 500, and make a climbing left turn to 3000, direct to Sacramento, VOR and hold. You can see that right here. And here we have all our minimums. Again, ILS 200. If the glide slope was out, we only had a localizer, it would be 313. And say 1 with Joe Bud. So if you have DME, you can do 313. If you don't have that and you don't have DME from Joe Bud, it's 473. But we'll be on the ILS, so no need to worry about that. We will be landing runway 16 left. Here, auto brake 2. Shoot for Delta 9 here. Delta 9, right Delta, left Charlie 3 over to Alpha 9, which is right here. And you can see that right there. So that's the plan. Actually, I need to load up. So that's chart 20-9 Alpha, effective the 17th of November 2017. Airport NOTAMs. Crop dusters operate in the vicinity of airport at or below 200 feet AGL, so they shouldn't be much of a problem. We'll look out for them, and we have birds in the vicinity of the airport. Runway 16 left. We have high-intensity runway lights, centerline lights, Mouser lights, touchdown zone lights, PAPI left on a 3-degree angle. If we land beyond the glide slope, we'll have 7,550 feet to work with. And the runway is 150 feet wide. We have one runway hotspot. And that's over there. That's not really on our way at all, so we really don't even have to worry about it. And that's it. We have no obstacle departures. The obstacle departure for 16 left. It's covered in our missed approach, but for some reason we just have to make sure we climb heading 164 to 700 before we turn. Other than that, we are looking good. Alright. Getting close here to our top of descent. let's see, lowest altitude's 3,000. We'll just go ahead and key that in there. We'll be beginning the descent here in just a minute. You can see our top of descent is coming up. We have to get our landing speeds ready to go. We'll see, we'll be landing with 1,000 pounds less fuel than we have now, so we can change this over to 137.9. Flap 30 VREF is going to be 145. We got that. Minimum's 200 feet, and the current altimeter there is 299er. That's going to change before we arrive, but we can just set that up now. So we've got 299er and 29er. Oh, you're not working. 299er. Actually, I'm just going to flip that over to 29.99 now. You can turn on the fastest seatbelt sign as soon as we start descending. We do have Sacramento approach online, so I will call them when he gives them a contact me, and we'll have Sacramento approach. I'm assuming he's going to give us 16 left. I hope he is. Actually, you know what? I paid zero attention to the ATIS for what runway. Let me listen again.
Right. Departure runways 16 left and 16 right.
There you go. It's going to be on 16, so I'm expecting 16 left. And in a little bit, once we get into the descent, probably through about 20,000 feet, I'm going to retune the information and make sure we still have... I'm assuming it's going to change from Victor over to Whiskey. But we will see. Alright, there's our top of descent. Throttles are coming back, and if you look off to your left, this is actually PacSim Reno. This is a oh my god, this is probably one of my favorite sceneries ever. This scenery is just absolutely I don't want to use fantastic, because everybody uses the word fantastic. It's one of the best sceneries I have. As you can see, he does the entire like area out here. He does all of this. Area is covered by his scenery. Hand-placed auto-gen. The night lighting is ridiculous. He has went through and actually hand-placed all the night lights to line up with all the roads. They actually have light poles connected to them. Craziness. And Reno is done. The airport, great airport. It's I don't want to say an easy airport to do, but it's definitely a smaller airport, so it's really cool to see someone go into super detail with a smaller sized airport. Probably couldn't go into this much detail with a huge airport just because of all the, just how much that would require out of your computer. So it's really cool to see smaller airports getting their day, being able to have scenery for some small airports, which otherwise, you know, they really wouldn't have that great of scenery. So if you have, definitely, I highly recommend picking up PacSim Reno. We'll throw on the fastest seatbelt sign. And we're looking good. We can run through the descent checklist. We got minimums of 200 feet. They're set. VREF and V target is 145 and 150, set and noted. Auto brakes are 2, and the recall is checked. Descent checklist is complete. Next checklist will be the approach checklist through 18,000 feet. Let's go check outside really quickly again. Mountains be looking real nice. That's real nice, Clark. Real nice. So you got Sky Team Delta here. I honestly couldn't believe how great TomatoShade would make your sim look. I've seen pictures and I'm like, oh yeah, that's great, you know, but when you actually see it in your sim, it's wow. Really, it's so great, because I know what my sim used to look like. And before this, I was kind of like a minimalist, I guess you could say. I didn't use PTA. I didn't use reshader programs. To me, I don't know. I didn't want to deal with them. But TomatoShade is worth you dealing with it. It's a little, well, it's not weird to set up at all. I found a tutorial video on YouTube, and it was really easy. The manual was, I was trying to read the manual, and I don't know, maybe it was the way it was written, I just didn't like it. So I found a video on YouTube on how to install it, and it came out, at least I feel like it came out great. So totally worth your time. We'll do a little, couple flyby videos here while we're descending into Sacramento. Because why not? Okay, enough fun. Back to the flight deck. Coming through 25,000 feet. My way down to 3. For the ILS runway 16 left approach. Everything's looking good. I can check my vertical profile here. We're good. The required navigational performance is 2.0. Actual navigation performance is 0.06. Well within limits, so we can fly this approach. No issues. I don't have any RNP issues with my plane. I always check that as we descend to make sure that is good. I don't think it really changes in the NGX, but just in case. It's a good habit. And I am going to listen to the ATIS again one more time to see if it's changed at all.
2.10. Altimeter 2999. ILS and visual approaches in use, landing runway 16 left and 16 right. Departure runways 16 left and 16 right. Notices to airmen. Use caution bird activity within the airport. Departure clearance of via CPPLC lock on KSMF. Load and check all pages. Advise on initial contact. You have information Victor. Sacramento International Airport ATIS information Victor. 01530. Weston. Visibility 10. Sky clear below 2000. Temperature 2.10.
Definitely let me know how that sounds. I actually want to listen to it really quick to make sure that sounds okay, because I've got them turned way down. Let me double check that.
Use caution bird activity within the airport. Departure clearance from VNCC PLC log on ASMF. Load and check all pages. Advise on missile contact.
That can be brought up a little bit there. That's actually not too bad at all. Bring that up there.
Sacramento International Airport Avis Information Victor. 0153 Zulu. Webcom. Visibility 10. Sky clear below 2000. Temperature 21. 2.10. Altimeter 2999. ILS and visual approaches in use landing runway 16 left and 16 right. Departure runways 16 left and 16 right.
Okay, I think we are good there. I'm going to turn that off so you're not stuck listening to that thing forever.
Departure.
Okay. That's, to me, that's a little bit better. Approach 25-4, I'm sure he's going to be giving me a call here, pretty much through probably 15,000 feet-ish. I think approach actually has up to 16,000. I think that's how it works. Obviously, they'll hand you off to center if center was on, but center's not on, so I think approach has up to 16. I'm not 100% sure, though. Oh, there it is now, actually. Oh, see, look at that. You can take me now. And Nathan's information, Victor. So I'm going to go ahead and switch over to his frequency. And we're going to talk to approach. Sacramento approach, good evening, Delta 2742. It's Victor descending via these. What are we on? I don't even remember what the arrival was.
Delta 2742 NorCal, Bridge, not a problem. Squawk 4603, Sacramento, altimeter 2999, send me the Slammer 3, south transition.
4603, send me the Slammer 3, southwest, Delta 2742. I am just destroying that.
Delta 2742, radar contact, thank you.
I am destroying myself on VATSIM. I guess you'll hear Nate coming up here on VATSIM because he'll be calling Sacramento approach pretty soon. Yeah, call myself Southwest. I don't remember what star I'm on. What the hell, man. It's those recording nerves, I guess you could call them.
Sacramento Internet Mission Whiskey current altimeter 3000 wind calm.
Yeah, altimeter 3000, winds are calm.
Delta 69 NorCal approach you on frequency.
Come on, Nate. Sacramento approach is calling you. Better get on frequency, boy. Aw, Nate's gonna be in trouble. Where the hell is he? Sir. Of course he's gotta be Delta 69. Then again, I can't blame him because I'm the one that suggested that call sign.
Delta 2742, expect visual approach runway 16 left.
Expect visual 16 left, Delta 2742. Alright, I sent Nate a text. Hopefully he, well, I could have sent him something in the chat, but I'd rather just go directly to him. Yes.
Delta 69 NorCal approach, on frequency.
I think we could use a little speed brakes here.
Delta 69 with you passing 50,000 on the...
There he is.
Delta 69 NorCal approach, good evening, squawk 462.
Delta 69.
Squawk 4267 for Delta 69.
That's fantastic.
4627, 4627.
Sorry, what was it again? I need to turn all these sounds off.
No problem. 4627.
We're just a batch of idiots. We can't get squawks right.
4627 for Delta 69.
I don't know what arrival I'm on. Oh boy. Oh god. Speed brakes, anybody?
And Delta 69, I don't have a flight plan for you. Just say
Oh, he doesn't even have a flight plan. Who is this guy?
Boeing 737 900.
Who is this guy? Has no flight plan. Flying around on that sim Delta 69. What a noob. Come on, Nate. Get your shit together, boy. We got speed brakes out, descending quite nicely. Actually, we're still on profile.
Delta 69, send via the Slimer 3 arrival, expect maintain 8,000, and expect visual approach runway 16 left.
Descend and maintain 8,000 and track legal pressure 16 left, Delta 69.
Alright, engines are coming back up, speed brakes will go down.
Delta 69, I'm sure you're probably aware, traffic 12 o'clock and smiles. Descending through 1,005 via 737.
Forgot the lights a tad, but who's
Looking for traffic.
who's paying attention?
Oh, traffic sight.
Oh, there he is. He's got me. So there we are through 10,000 feet.
Reduce speed 230 knots.
It's 10,000 feet. Everybody's on their way to be seated. Well, the flight times are being seated now.
230 for Delta 69.
Delta 2742, depart Janko heading 230.
Depart Tanko on a heading of 230, Delta 2742. Tanko heading 230 is what he wants, and that's what we're going to give him. He's just setting us up for that ILS approach there. I can see what he's... Let's turn right to about there. Now with Nate, he's on our ass. Like, he's literally right there. Yeah, he is real close. So, we'll have to do some... We'll definitely have to do some... We'll keep the speed up. So we're going to speed intervene. So we're going to do 250 knots all the way down. Got to keep my speed up here to make sure we have plenty of room. So Nate can fly behind us and we're not slowing down too much. Because if I do slow down to 210 knots like it wants, ATC is just going to tell me to speed up. So
Delta 69, descend and maintain 6,000.
Descend and maintain 6,000, Delta 69.
I should probably tell ATC.
2742, Sacramento Airport is 10 o'clock, 2,000 miles north of field site.
We'll call the field Delta 2742. It's still 25 miles out there, so I'm not going to see it quite yet. We are getting there, though. Who else is flying around? There's somebody. I guarantee you it's not a CRJ900, but it's showing up as one. But somebody's out flying some GA. We got, well, it's coming up. I think it's right over here. Yeah, that's it. We'll call the field. Because why not? Delta 2742 has a field in sight.
Delta 2742, thank you. Clear visual approach runway 16 left.
Clear visual 16 left. We'll keep the speed up. Delta 2742.
Thanks, sir. Delta 69, verify solid 12 block traffic, now 7 miles and 5,000 feet.
Alright, he cleared us for the visual. We're going to go ahead and descend
Delta 69, NorCal.
We're going to descend to 1,900. He wants us on a heading up 230.
Delta 69, verify solid traffic, site 12
and, yeah, we're going to descend to 2,000. I want to get down to 2,000 as quickly as possible. Right now I'm going to trade altitude. I'm going to trade altitude for airspeed and try to get down to 2,000. So as soon as I get down there, I can rip the speed back, slow down, and get in here. Like I said, I'm trying to keep my speed up as much as possible because I know I've got Nate on my ass. He's 7 miles behind me. That's why I got the speed brakes up. I really want to get down to 2,000, so I can be at 2,000.
Number 984,
and like I said, I can slow down there. I'm not trying to do this constant descent all the way down. That's definitely not what I want.
984, Tango Bravo,
terrain. There's 1,000 to go.
Departure from maintain 3,000. Expect flight level 290 Airlines remains after departure. Departure frequency 125 4615.
Flight level 94 Tango Bravo is cleared.
Actually, I'm going to keep the speed brakes out just a little bit. I'm going to slow back to approximately 200 knots, taking the auto throttle off. It's on Vorlock. So I did my best, like I said, to keep my speed up as much as I possibly could, and pretty much until the very end. So now I can just start dumping speed. I need speed out. Let's go flaps 1.
94, Tango Bravo, very good. Runway 20, taxi be up Mike, cross runway 12.
Flaps 5.
Delta 2742, clear to land runway 16 left, wind calm.
Clear to land 16 left, Delta 2742. Out comes the autopilot. We're on about a 7-mile final. We'll go gear down, flaps 15. Speed brakes are armed. May or may not have forgotten that I had the speed brakes extended there. Alright, speed's 145. And, everything's looking pretty nice here.
Delta 69, start your turn final now, spacing close to it. 611, clear to land number 2.
Again, I'm just really keeping the speed up here. Let's go flaps 25. Alright, coming up on 1,000 feet, we need to get established. Flaps 30. Uncheck speed brakes armed, green light, letting it down, 3 green, flaps 30, green light, landing checks are complete. And now comes the one part of the stream where I actually am pretty silent while I fly the approach into Sacramento. We are clear to land, making sure I got all my lights on.
Approaching minimum.
Let's check.
Minimum.
Landing.
$100. 50. 30. 20. 10.
Runway 4 Tango Bravo on departure flight runway heading, runway 20 for takeoff, wind calm.
And I want to make that taxiway there. That was a
42 right turn, Del ramp.
right turn of the ramp, Delta 2742. All right. High speed turn off there. That way I'm out of the way for traffic. And clean up the plane. That wasn't terrible. Not bad. Alright. All that stuff is good. Mass caution anti-ice is good. Make the right turn here. We're going to Alpha 3. Oh, I had plenty of space. I was keeping the speed up a lot. I really wasn't sure how close he was to me, but... Aviation King, just because I really don't like flying at night, so I made it daytime. It's like noon. I find it much more enjoyable to fly during the day than at night. RushFU2 Vodka, thank you for the... Thanks for the comment there. Appreciate that. And we are going to Alpha 3. Let's go ahead and Alpha 3. Delta works. GSX breaks the computer. Alright. All that stuff is looking good. APU's on the bus. Or not APU's on the bus, but APU's on. Pulling into the gate. Taxi light can come off. And... oh, you know what? That's actually right. I remember this scenery is a little weird. That's why I smashed the ground so freaking hard. The textures are actually a few feet above the runway. That's right, because if you look at it, my gear... oh, maybe not. I don't know. I just know my little GSX guy there. He's in the ground. I don't know what I'm talking about. Aviation King 95, I am done for the night here in, I am done here in Sacramento, but there will be many more streams coming soon because I just fixed my internet and I was able to stream in a whole flight without dropping any frames at 1080p, which before I really could not do. Parking brake sets. APU is on the bus. Kill the engines. That's good. The APU has been running for 3 minutes, so I'm going to go ahead and leave the APU bleed off for now. And the anti-collision light come off. I forgot the strobes. That's fine. Good there. We'll operate jetways. There we go. Turn transponder off. Squawk zeros. And we made it to Sacramento. Where's my buddy Nate, aka Delta 69? Where is he? Oh, there he is. We're going to open up the cargo doors. And yes, I do own the Captain Sim 757. And my Insta, it's, I think I actually have it linked in the description. I got to double check that, actually. Where's the jet? Oh, there it is. Jetway's there, it just doesn't appear there. Let's go ahead and request deboarding. Open up the door. Let me check. And yes, I do own the Captain Sim 757. I don't remember if I answered that. Yeah. If you actually, if you look in the if you look down in the description, you'll see how you can contact me. And you can go ahead. You'll see you got links to my Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. All there. Oh God, GSX noises are gonna play. Yeah, we're not doing that. Not today. I forgot about that you're going to get these terrible GSX noises. But yes, if you definitely want to get a hold of me, again, links are down in the description. And yeah, the 757 is pretty decent. I haven't really flown it that much. So, I think it's good. I watched Bellins. He flew the 757 recently. And it looked pretty decent from that. So, not 100% on that answer. But like I said, I think it's good. Let's see here. Where's Mr. Delta 69? Where is he going to park? Oh, here he comes. Classy call sign. Again, though, I'm not going to make fun of him because I told him to be Delta 69, so. Kind of my fault. Where is he going to park? Oh, right next to me. Why not? Let's watch the parking job. Let's see how he does. Oh, there's no parking lines? I'm sure right now he's literally like, yeah. He is done. Yeah, he has no parking lines either. Doesn't know what to do. Anyways, I think that's actually going to take care of our stream tonight. I really appreciate all you guys for stopping by. I really appreciate all the support I got for this. And again, thank you so much for stopping by. There are going to be new streams coming very soon. My internet's fixed. New videos coming soon. More streams. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next stream. Take care.